Howdy, folks. This is Doctor McFarland in the house, and I have a slightly differently arranged recording studio where I was once facing that way toward the window. I am now facing this way toward a wall that has a TV screen mounted on it, which is the same screen I was using before, but now it's just actually on the wall. And I'm thinking it needs to go up about 4 inches or so. So that way it clears the camera. And this will be, you can kind of see my hard drives here and the back of my my faders and stuff, which is cool. But I'm thinking at this point it might be really neat to have one camera here, having a camera maybe mounted over here somewhere, kind of pointing down, and then I can have maybe a secondary camera coming from over here or whatever, and just kind of switch between all the different cameras. That'll be kind of neat. But for now, I'm just going to use a one camera shot and going to play a little guitar. Going to talk about this past week, and then we're going to get into the Kiesel.com, KieselGuitars.com website, where they have a custom builder that you can pretty much build your own guitar from scratch right there on the site. You can see exactly what it's going to look like, the front and the back. And then I do highly suggest giving Kiesel a call. They are available during the day, and you can make sure all the specs are just how you want. They can maybe suggest a few things and then go from there. So I do not think I have this picture on my desktop, and I don't. But I do have a Kiesel on order, and it will be here in probably another 12-ish weeks. So lots to prepare for. I sold 3 things today. 3, yeah, I got 3 fingers holding up. I sold 3 things today, and I got more stuff for sale. I think I have 24 total items on Marketplace right now. Just trying to get rid of just stuff laying around I don't ever use. And all that fun stuff. So let's play a little bit more guitar. And Elizabeth is in the house. She says, hello. I hope you're doing well, Elizabeth. A fun idea that I've had started doing the last few days was it started with a little TikTok video I did on acoustic guitar with my new Nashville tuning and Dadgad tuning, kind of combination, which sounded neat. And then the next day I started something that I've actually started long time ago. I haven't been doing it in a while. But the idea is to do a daily, or maybe a few times a week, name that song on TikTok. And then what I can do is save that video on my phone, then also upload it to YouTube and Instagram. So that gives me one piece of content that I can have on multiple different platforms. It'll just be a fun little competition, not really competition, but just a fun little daily interjection of me playing guitar, you trying to figure out what the song is. And some days it's going to be softballs. And some days it's going to be 100-mile-per-hour fastballs that you're just not going to know what it is unless you know what it is. So I think it'll be fun just to get out there on the interwebs and have some fun with people. When I was working at Publix, I heard the same songs daily. So I started getting on Facebook and asking little trivia questions, see if people can guess the song or not. That was kind of fun. So it's just a fun way to engage with people, either people you already know or new people that you don't know yet, but that might be interested in my channel or my website and what I do throughout all that. So Elizabeth is doing well. So let's play a little bit. And I sold a Shure SM7B today, and I'm keeping this Rode pod mic, which is only like $90 or $100 brand new. They're very cheap, relatively cheap, and they sound great. So let's play a little bit here. So this is my Eastman AC 122 1CE. It's just a nice, typical body shape for acoustic. Has a nice headstock on there. I think it looks pretty good. I do have I have a green screen behind me. I didn't want it to look green, so I just made it like a brick wall, which is kind of fun. I'm going to do some cool stuff back here behind the couch. I have some LED strips I can put back there. Oh, I can turn on my lava lamp, which would be neat. And with the LED strips, I can make them different colors and make them flash and do cool stuff. So I'm trying to make whatever's behind me look kind of cool and all that. So here's a name that tune, name that song. You ready? Here we go. Here comes the chorus. But I do have a nice big stand. I could put a green backdrop behind me and just do like the green screen thing, which would be neat as well. So, but this layout in the room, we got drums over here, a piano, and a nice big walking area, which before is kind of cluttered and kind of closed off, because of the way the drums are situated and different stuff like that. So. I don't have a carpet on the floor anymore. It's kind of nice seeing all the natural, it's not natural wood, it's just laminate, but it's nice seeing all the wood on the floor And there's just a red carpet underneath the drums and another reddish kind of design carpet underneath the piano. And yeah, I have the cloud still over the same area over here, which I might move it somewhere this way, possibly. But I think I'm definitely going to raise this TV up a few inches. Because right now it's like nice and square. I can see it really well, but I think if it just raised up a little bit more, I wouldn't really be looking up that much. It would still be nice and even with my eyes. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn off this camera switcher here. Give a little applause to the people. B Stoner's in the house. What's up? Green backdrop is full of green bricks. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Andrew, yes, I have the acoustic guitar tonight, which I have the FM9 right here beside me. I did sell my headrush today, in preparation for something new that is coming for NAMM 2023. And I did reach out to the headrush people personally, to the marketing team, just telling them that, hey, I've been doing headrush videos for a very long time and putting countless hours of headrush community videos and support, answering questions throughout the years. So I put in my request. They know my desires, and maybe they'll come through, and I'll be able to show off something new here on the channel very soon. Who knows? But I've had the MX5 and the gig board for a while now as well, and it has all the same power as the big pedal board. So if I build a rig on the pedal board, I can transfer that to the MX5 and have the exact same sound with zero limitations as far as like blocks being, not having enough power, so therefore you can't use as many blocks. And that's really my my only gripe about the Helix family of products is you have the Helix floor, which has the most power, but then the HX Stomp is very limited on the number of amps you can have in a signal chain, and pitch blocks and reverbs and all the different stuff. So yeah, Headrush will be coming out with a new Headrush unit. It was kind of leaked by Tracy Guns over this last week, and he posted again about him recording some amplifiers. So with all the capture technology going on, with all these different units, Quad Cortex, Kemper, Tonex, I think Headrush will be a player in that game very, very soon. Now, I'm still on the fence about captures or profiles versus actual just models. I think modeling sounds really good. When I had the QC, that sounded great. I still have the Kemper, and it sounds great. Well, the Kemper didn't have models, but it does have profiles on it. So in the Fractal right here, my FM9 doesn't have any capture technology or anything like that. But the models on this thing sound amazing. Sound really, really good. So Andrew says, wow, I never thought you'd sell that. Well, I don't play in a band. I only play out like once a week. And I just don't need a bunch of stuff sitting around. So if I got something new possibly coming to try out for the channel, I don't want to just keep a bunch of stuff around just because I can. I'd rather sell it off and free up the cash and do something else. Do something else with that money. I did order a second tom, and a crash cymbal for my F Note kit, which is right over here. I need to have a camera pointing over the drums so I can just like switch cameras and then go over and play. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? That would be kind of fun. If there's no more questions coming in, let's ask you guys how has your week been doing? Today is Tuesday. That means it's Taco Tuesday, and we're gonna taco about gear. But for dinner tonight, I had rice, shrimp, a few pieces of bacon, and I did have a blueberry muffin that my wife made for the kids earlier today. And that's really the only carbs I've had in the last few days. On Sundays, one of the guys at church has a donut shop, and he'll bring in donuts for the classes to devour. And I'm like, okay, I'm on this diet right now that is basically called the carnivore diet, and you're only supposed to eat meat, any kind of meat. That can be beef, chicken, fish, pork, stuff like that. Spam, I guess, if you wanted to. You can eat butter, bacon, and eggs. I don't know what I'm doing with my fingers, by the way. And so it really, mentally in my mind, what that's doing for me is if it's a cookie, that doesn't fall within those 4 food groups, right? Same goes for cakes and ice cream, all kinds of sugary stuff. Root beer. I love drinking root beer, but it's got tons of sugar in it. So I'm just really cutting back on all the sugar. And that also means I'm cutting back on a lot of the carbs that I'm usually eating. But I didn't have a lot prepared for dinner tonight, and there was some leftover rice and some shrimp that I had in the freezer. So I heated up the shrimp, or de-thawed it, heated up the rice, put some butter on it, just get the extra fat in there. And I had my bacon, and I did have a blueberry muffin, just a small one. It wasn't like one of those big ones from Sam's Club or anything. So I had that for dinner, and that was my dessert, the blueberry muffin. I had a little bit of milk with that. I can have dairy as well, any kind of cheese, milk, anything that's whole fat. The higher the fat content, the more your body doesn't produce insulin, something like that. And there's a lot of videos I've been watching and learning about all this stuff, and it's making total sense to me. And I'm feeling great. I'm not hungry at all during the day. My body is very filled. Even from the previous dinner, I eat all the meat and all the, pretty much all the food I want until I'm full. And then I don't eat breakfast the next morning. And then I just, some days I eat lunch. Some days I just go all day until supper time again. So that's called 1 meal a day, OMAD, 1 meal a day. So it's this cycle of fasting and then feeding. So either you're fed or you're fasting. You're either in one of those states. And the longer you can fast, the more body fat your body will actually start eating away at and start burning, and stuff like that. So anyway, enough about me and my little weight loss journey here. But I am trying to shed a few pounds here, maybe gain a little bit of muscle. But Andrew Collins says yes, he's on that diet. I think it's a cool diet because I never have to worry about meal planning. I'm like, okay, what am I going to eat? Well, guess what? I'm going to eat meat, eggs, butter, and bacon. That's it. That's all I'm going to eat. Now, the variety comes from the different kinds of meats you're eating. So one night I might have steak, and the other night I might have chicken. Tonight I had shrimp. I got some salmon in the freezer. I can de-thaw and maybe have that later on this week, maybe a Thursday or Friday. And then I love cooking up eggs, scrambled eggs over easy, stuff like that. And I buy this big 3-pound bag of bacon from Sam's Club or Costco. And then I cook half of it and then I freeze the other half. So I have a nice big bag of bacon in the refrigerator that I can pull and just munch on and whatever else. So, you don't have to have special equipment to do a capture. I know there's a NAM. Andrew Collins is talking about capture stuff. There's this new NAM technology, neural amp modeling, something like that, and it's free online. So we might review that one of these days. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. I can't pronounce his name, but does your church group mention the soon coming rapture of the church? That goes into eschatology and study of the end times. And I think Jesus can come back anytime. But I think there's still certain events that need to happen before all that takes place. It could be soon. Could be any time now. We'll never know. We'll never know until it happens in a blink of an eye, right? 1 Corinthians 15 says, in a blink of an eye, we'll all be changed. Elizabeth says, week was good dealing with sick daughters, but all is good having wings and salad for dinner. Wings, yes. Wings is a meat, and I can have meat. So that means I can have wings. Custom guitar build. I just ordered a bunch from Warmoth and Stumac and a real hammer pickup for my dream build. Nice. Yeah, pork skins like pork rinds to replace potato chips. That is correct. Yeah, I haven't craved any potato chips at all. I've been cutting out all vegetables, all fruit. I used to have this chocolate shake in the morning that had a banana, almond milk, vanilla, and chocolate. Peanut butter, spinach, all kinds of blueberries. And I've cut out drinking my chocolate shake in the mornings. I just feel like there's way too much sugar in it. And at 42, my body does not process sugar or carbs very well. It just stores it all around my midsection. And that cannot happen anymore. I'm putting my foot down. It's not happening. All right, let's do some builds here. Okay. So this is kieselguitars.com, and you can see that we have guitars, basses, builder, in stocks, pickups, merch, and artists. Now, I was not looking to order a guitar. I really wasn't. But I was either on YouTube or something. And let's go look at the in stocks real fast. Alan Holdsworth, beast of a player. He's been a Carvin / Kiesel artist for a very long time. And I did not know this, but the company started out as Kiesel, and then the guy's two sons was named what was it? Carson and Gavin, I think. So he took the car and the van and put it together and made Carvin. And he had to name it Carvin due to some kind of legal something or other back in the 40s, like the late 40s, because this company started in 1946. I've been doing a little bit of research on the history because I was like, did Kiesel buy out Carvin or whatever? And it's like, no. Kiesel has always been Kiesel, but they had to change their name to Carvin due to some manufacturing legal stuff, whatever it was. And then I think in 2009, the son of the original Kiesel, whatever his name, I can't remember his first name, and then the grandson got together and changed the name back to Kiesel. And then now the grandson essentially runs Kiesel Guitars, and they're 4,000 guitars a year custom shop that you basically can get all kinds of shapes and headstocks, types of wood, all kinds of different stuff. So I don't think I'm going to be able to see. I don't know how I saw the guitar I did. I can't remember what I was doing. I was just going through the website and looking up stuff. But I'll try to find a picture a little bit later. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the builder here. There's kinds of all kinds of different options. But you can see by the prices real fast that the you're going to start about $1,800 to $2,000, and this is going to go up from there. But what you're getting is stainless steel frets, amazing bodies and tops. You can either get a bolt-on or a neck-through design. There's a headless options as well as head options. 6 in line, 3x3, whatever you want. They have this. It's not a Floyd Rose, but it's some kind of trim system. That's really cool. Like here's the rear of it. This is one I built the other day. And you can save these on your computer along with the specs. You can call up the company. Like I said, you can go over all the different specs, make sure it's exactly what you want. But this one I actually designed with a piezo pickup in it, so it can sound like an acoustic as well as an electric, which I thought was neat. This is a headless design, and I think this is the Honey Burst with offset inlays. And I think it's an all ash body, swamp ash. So it's going to be really light. But let's start from scratch here. Okay, y'all go ahead and ask your questions. So this was Kiesel was carving, right? So that's what I was saying. It started off as carving. Sorry, it started as Kiesel in 1946. And then before the 50s came along, they had to change their name to Carvin, and that lasted till I think 2009. And then they changed their name back to Kiesel once the son and grandson started taking it over. Yeah, I did too. I really thought Carvin had some great looking guitars, and you can customize all of them by flipping through the magazines or the catalogs. You can kind of pick out what you want. This website kind of takes it to the next level. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try to build the guitar that I chose. Okay, this might be a little hard, but I'm going to delete this, reset all the default options here. Okay, so this is a neck through design. So you see the piece of wood going down the middle, but you also see different woods on the sides. Okay, this is the same headstock I'm going to get, and the tuners I'm going to get. And here's the back. You can see the neck through going all the way down and all that. I think I'm going to have bird's eye maple neck and fretboard, possibly. When he quoted me the price, I was like, wow, that's actually not bad. Considering I have thousands of dollars worth of guitars just like sitting over here, I can just sell a few of those off and compensate. So, all right, here's the Aries neck through. Carvin actually does exist. But they're not a custom shop company. They still make carving pickups. They make amplifiers, I think. And I used to have one of their V3 amplifiers a few years ago. And so the dad definitely does pickups and non-custom guitars. You can still order a carving guitar. It's just not going to be as customized as what you can get through Kiesel. So, but Carvin and Kiesel are one and the same. They're essentially the same company. But Kiesel branched off into the custom market. Well, Carvin still does all the stock type stuff. So, I hope that makes sense. So looking here on the left, we have dexterity, which means are you right-handed or are you left-handed? Okay, that's pretty much all that means. If I chose left-handed, it would look like that. It would be in reverse, right? Right, so we're going to go back to right-handed. We can choose the number of strings. I've always been mentally blocked by 7 and 8 string guitars. I just can't do it. If I chose an 8 string, it goes up $350 in price, which I'm not going to do. So I'm just going to keep it at 6. Now, multi-scale, which is kind of neat. So changes aren't may cause some currently such a for the default. Let me just show you what this is. So notice that the pickups are slanted and the frets, like, they're going like different angles. They angle as they go up the fretboard. So as they get toward the headstock, they angle back, and as they start getting toward the neck or the body side, they angle the opposite way. And I heard this in an interview today that a piano does not have equal length strings. It just doesn't. So why should a guitar have equal length strings? So that's what a multi-scale is attempting to fix, I guess, is the low E string is going to be longer in scale than the high E string, because that low E string needs more distance to get that extra whatever it is. But I'm not going to choose that. I'm going to take that back off. So that goes back down to 1689. Our scale length, we can choose between 25 and a half, which is your Fender size, or we can do 26 and a half. That's pretty long, I feel like. But we'll stick with 25 and a half for this one. And it does come with a soft guitar case, which is really great for this price. You can also opt for the black Tolex hard shell guitar case, but the soft guitar case is fine with me. And now we can go on to body options. So we can choose our body wood. I personally chose the walnut, and it's going to look like that. And the top wood, I didn't have a top wood, but you can technically have zebra, and it's going to show up in this scarf right here that you have on the body. Ooh, that looks pretty. That looks really pretty. So yeah, what that does is it separates the top wood from the body wood, so you can really see that scarf on the side. But we could do like flame maple. We can do poplar burl, which is crazy. Look at that. All kinds of fun options here. Elizabeth is asking me, what is my favorite guitar that I own? That is very hard to say. I got an Eastman guitar for my birthday a few years ago, and that's a very nice guitar. I really like that one a lot. I don't know, it's hard. I have a lot of Reverend guitars right now that I do enjoy, and I have 2 Chapman guitars. Yeah. I don't know, it's hard. They're all my children, and it's hard to just pick one or something. Let's not do a top wood because that's not what I chose. So we got walnut wings, and the finish is going to be We're not going to have a finish on it. The logo, which is right here, I think I made it, I think it's just black. But if you made it gold, it wouldn't stand out at all. And I think they match the headstock as well, which I'm not sure how to choose that option. But yeah, but the headstock is going to be walnut. Let's do a top coat. It's definitely tongue gold. So all that finish right there, if I chose satin matte, it's going to be slightly, just slightly shiny. But I'm pretty sure I chose the tongue gold. So it's going to be just nice raw wood, like my desk right here. Let's see here. Yes, that's finish, top coat, additional finish options. So you can get some really expensive stuff going on here. But I don't have any finishes, so I don't need any of that. You can do a chambered body. I don't know why I would. See, that requires a top wood. So 3-piece body requires a top wood. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Neck options. I'm pretty sure this is a 3-piece. And I think it's maple with a walnut stripe going down the middle, just like that. So maple with a walnut stripe. Yeah. Looking mighty fine there. Okay, number of frets is going to be 24. Neck profile is somewhat thick. You have a thinner neck profile option. The fingerboard wood, standard fingerboards. You got ebony, which is the one it comes with. Or you can pay a little extra and get maple, rosewood, bird's eye maple, bloodwood. I mean, yeah, you can get some crazy stuff. Ebony, less color variation. Let's just do regular ebony. Roasted bird's eye maple. Whoa. I know I did get my my neck is roasted for sure. Let's go down to fingerboard radius. So with this option right here, you have the higher the number, the flatter the radius of the fingerboard is. And what radius is how curved the fingerboard is. So you can have super really flat, more like a classical guitar. Gibson Les Pauls are usually 12-inch radius. Most Fender guitars range from 7.5 to 9.5 down by the nut. And then some can even be compound radius, which means they get flatter as they go up the fretboard. This guitar right here, this is a Pete Anderson by Reverend Telecaster. And this has I want to say it's a 9.5 down here, but it goes up to like 12-ish up here in this area. So it's just basically down here is where you play a lot of your chords. So a smaller radius is easier to play chords, but when you're playing solos, right? It's easier to have that flatter radius as you go up. And Elizabeth, that is one of my. I do like that guitar a lot. It has a nice classic telly look, without actually being a Fender. I'm gonna just choose the 12-inch radius. I'm pretty sure that's what I chose. Maybe the guy on the phone suggested 14. I don't know. I'm just gonna choose 14. I'm pretty sure my neck was a bird's eye maple. Something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's bird's eye maple. Inlay shape, I'm pretty sure it's just, I think it's just dots going down the middle, which is fine. But there's rings. There's all kinds of options here. Number of frets. We got stainless steel, medium jumbo. You can also get gold frets on here, which is kind of neat. And it looks like that. I wish you could kind of zoom in a little bit. It doesn't do that on the stream though. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go back to medium jumbo frets. The neck rear finish is going to be Tungle. Headstock shape is it's just the pointed. I got the pointed six in line, and that headstock is going to be a walnut cap over there. Headstock overlay. Yeah, that's what it is. There it is. So they add the overlay for the headstock. There you go. You could have a bird's eye maple headstock, I guess. They did the walnut. Headstock finish. Not painted. A truss rod cover. Pretty sure we just did black. But you could do like purple heart or red tortoiseshell. All kinds of options there. I should have got engraved. See, this says Doctor McFarland on there. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. I don't think it will. Equal love for all the guitars. That's right. Truss rod cover. Yeah, additional options. Scallop fretboard. Not going that direction. All right, electronics. This is the guts of the guitar. What kind of pickups you're going to have and all that. Configuration is going to be a humbucker, single humbucker. Like so. And I'm pretty sure he did some kind of PAF in the neck, which I can't remember which is which. We'll do like a beryllium kind of thing. And the single coil in the middle. I have no idea what he chose. I'm kind of just going off of what he was suggesting. I didn't really care as long as it looked like it did in the picture that I saw on the website. I was like, you just do whatever you want. I don't care. Bobbin colors. So we got white, black, white. So that is correct. The pole pieces, you can do a lot of stuff with this. So pole pieces, you can have it be gold. You can have it be black. You can have it be chrome. Let's stick with chrome. The controls are currently, I think we added, let's see. I didn't do the acoustic saddles on this one. Delete tone control and move volume to tone position. So that means this tone knob right here would go away and this volume knob would go all the way back. I guess it's fine if you're wanting to not worry about hitting a volume knob. But I'm not going to turn that on. That's not how mine was. Hardware options. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having fun. We did the Hipshot Kiesel tremolo like so. And I'm pretty sure it's black. We got black hardware. The knobs are black. The nut is a black Graphtec tusk nut. Say that fast 10 times. Elixirs, 10 gauge, strap buttons. I'm pretty sure the strap buttons look okay to me. I can always swap them out for way less than $30. The tuner buttons, white perloid tuner buttons. Let's see what that looks like. It's kind of pretty. I'm pretty sure when I chose the hardware black for that, it made the same for the tuners, which I'm okay with. Electronics cavity cover. So this is the cover right there. And if I actually knew what I was doing, I could have chose ebony for that. But it looks so black anyway. It's not a big deal. Tremolo color is you can either make it ebony or purple heart, like so. But we'll keep it black. And I'm pretty sure that's my guitar right there. Let me go find something here. Talk amongst yourselves, people. Talk amongst yourselves, okay? Let's go to my Facebook. I know I have a picture that I shared with somebody. I kind of like the camera right here. How do you like the camera right here? I do still need to raise this TV up like a good, maybe like 4 inches or so. That'd would probably be helpful. I know I sent it to this guy. So let's see what we got. Okay, here we go. All right, click on that. And let's go back to our head. There we are. Yes, right there. So we got 24 frets, black hardware, the white and black bobbins. And that's it right there. That's essentially it. It says I'm buffering. It says I'm buffering. Yeah, so there's the guitar. Let me know if I'm still going strong here, folks. And if not, I can start shutting it down. But that's it. That's walnut wings with a. This actually has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That has a 5-piece neck. So I need to go change that. So neck options, neck profile, neck wood, 5-piece. So that is that. There we are. Let's go back to the front here. That's a little bit closer. So we got the maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple. Maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple. I wish there was a way to angle the guitar so you can like see different angles of it. Andrew, I was paying $80 for 1 gig speed internet. And I'm like, I'm a cheapskate. I'm not going to pay $80 for that. So I bumped it back down to 500 megs per second. And I might just have to bite the bullet and bump it back up to the 1 gig speed. Because I do not have a hardwire connection here in the garage, in the bonus room of the garage. And I'm in a separate building than the house. And so I'm doing a Google Mesh system where the main unit's in the living room, the second unit is in the bonus room, just parallel to me upstairs in the house, and then the third unit is right over here in my window, and that's how I'm getting internet here in the studio. But I think it's a little slow compared to the house, and I wouldn't mind looking into getting a hardwired connection, because I think if I did that, I can stick with the lower gig speed, or megabyte speed, whatever you want to call it, and but still have a nice strong connection because it would be hardwired. So I might do that. I might not. I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, this is the guitar right here. This is it. So you got walnut, you got maple. It's going to be bird's eye maple, which is going to be really nice. I could have had the dark option on there, which that's kind of cool. But then you don't notice the neck through as much with that. I could have even done purple heart. Yeah, something like that. But that's where the extra cost came in, was that maple with 2 walnut stripes. Otherwise, I would have had a little bit cheaper guitar. But I just basically said, make that. I want whatever that is. Just make that. I thought it was really pretty. All right, so we can now go down to hardware, net strings. So you can save the build. Nathan, and I don't know why they limit the number of characters you can save it as. You can't have special characters. Nathan's G for guitar. And you can share save build, manage save builds, export specs. So that means all the type of strings, the Hipshot Kiesel tremolo system, 25.5-inch scale, walnut body, tongue gold body, walnut headstock overlay, tongue gold neck, engraved truss rod cover black. There's a few other things in here because mine was just slightly more expensive than that. But like I said, I got so many guitars laying around. I'm definitely just going to sell off some that I don't use a lot and invest it back into a really nice custom instrument that I can use here on the stream and or on the channel and stuff like that. So I can also export the image, which shows up like that. I know this right here does not do that any justice, because that just looks gorgeous. But still, that gives you a rough idea of what a guitar could look like, possibly. So, but yeah, my internet woes have not stopped. I'm still kind of, I'm not struggling, but I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with my internet. Turn my green screen back on. Check. It says I was muted there for a second. I'm not muted. Yeah, so be looking out for the channel here. I have a goal to reach 20,000 subs by the end of the year, and I just passed 12. So that means I have to get 8,000 subs in the next however many months. And when I look at my specs in the YouTube specs and all that stuff, it says about 15 to 20% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So that means the other 75 to 80% just watch my videos, but they don't hit the subscribe button. Now, I'm not too worried about subscribers. I mean, it'd be nice if I had more. I've been going pretty serious with YouTube since 2017. I have well over 100 head rush videos alone. Tons of other gear videos, anatomy of tone that I've done on like pedals and different guitar gear options, and obviously guitar reviews, studio reviews on like plugins and microphones, interfaces, all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested and you enjoy the stuff I do here on my channel, be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Uh, I think that just helps push out my videos even more to even more people, and it just makes me sleep better. And I really don't care about the subs. I mean, it's nice to have more subs. That's fine if you're a YouTuber. If I did this for 10 years and still only had like 1,000 subs, that would kind of stink. Um, but I think the quality has to be there. The audio and the video quality has to be nice. You have to talk about things that people are actually interested in. That's one way to get some more subs, possibly. And do more head rush stuff, doing some more Kemper and Fractal stuff. Talk about my drum set over here. Maybe do some live mixing with Harrison Mixbus 32C, which a new V9 is coming very, 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 very soon. Very soon. So if you're into recording and you're tired of Pro Tools, then come try out Harrison Mixbus 32C and get that console experience on your screen. Let me pull it up real fast, actually. Let's see here. If I can pull this up. This is just a little sneak peek for all you guys that are interested in stuff like this. And we are very, very close to releasing. So let's see. I want to do head and DAW. There we are. Yeah, so you can see we have some different channel strip look layouts going on. We got bus sends over to the 12 buses. We have a new compressor, which looks really cool. EQ. We have a gate that we can swap out for the compressor. Or if you have a large enough screen, a 4K screen, you can see all the modules or all the different pieces of the channel strip at once, which is really neat. You can just see all the audio tracks there. So it looks like a console on your screen, which is great. And it also makes it very fast and easy to mix. Recording is just as easy. I can record as many tracks as I want. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. I think this is just some random. This is just a random session I made, but the main point is looking at the mixer and all the functionality you get with having a mixer on your screen there. So yeah, there you go. I think the new head rush is going to be roughly the same size, Andrew. But they have some more functionality, potentially. I don't know the exact details, but there may be Bluetooth in there. There may be some kind of capture software technology going on in there. Maybe a different touchscreen. I'm not quite sure. What it looks like from the Tracy Guns leak was the sides had a slightly different shape and the knobs had a slightly different look to them. And but still going to be a nice big touchscreen, and maybe some cool functionality with the switches. We just don't know yet. There's not a lot of information out on the web, but I have known for a while that something new is coming or has been coming. for at least a year and a half. But with all the COVID stuff and shortages in parts throughout the world, it was hard for really everybody to make anything. The fractal units took forever to get released. And then eventually they had to come out with a turbo version because some of the old parts they were trying to use just were not available. So, but I did watch a Tone Junkie video earlier today that I thought was really, it really nailed it right on the head. So he basically said, all right, I've got the Kemper, I got the Quad Cortex, I have a Helix, I have a Tone X, and he's mentioned some other thing that he couldn't quite mention, but or he couldn't talk about. But at the end of the day, they're so good at capturing or profiling the sound of the amp that once you have the sound of an amp, what more do you really want? So it really just comes down to work. To me, it would come down to workflow and the size of the unit. So if you're really big into just having some captures on your pedal board with some other drive effects and some wet effects, then maybe the Tone X would be a good option. If you want more of a small unit that has amps and cabs, but also all the other effects, then the HX Stomp or HX XL, Stomp XL would be a good option for a small pedal board size device. Kemper is obviously a little bit bigger, but it's been around for a very long time. And sure, the technology is old, but it still sounds really good. And a lot of what Tone Junkie said, HW out, right? A lot of what he said was essentially all the amps sound so good that they're very, very similar. And it's really just a matter of which unit has your favorite reverbs or your favorite delays or your favorite effects overall. So for Andrew, who's watching, he likes it either sounds good enough for what he does or it just plain sounds good, right? If it is good, if it sounds good, it is good. That's just the age old saying that us guitar players keep telling ourselves. It's like, well, or even audio engineers. If you put a microphone in a certain spot and that's the sound that you like, then what else do you really need to do, right? So for a lot of people, the Helix is going to be a good option. For other people that like touchscreens, a Quad Cortex or a Headrush might be a better option than others. If you want tons of power and flexibility and tweakability, then the Fractal unit is a good choice. But I think really out of all of them, the Kemper is still a great piece of gear. The Kemper Stage, more specifically, is a great piece of gear. It has a dedicated tuner switch, dedicated looper switch, dedicated tap tempo, so you don't have to do any weird like hold functions to get to all your things that you need to get to in a live gig. The performance mode is very well laid out with 5 rigs across 5 switches. Then you still have your 4 switches up top that you can access your different drives and maybe turn on off a delay or whatever else. But it's really built around the rig and performance mentality. So here coming soon, I will be shooting out some Headrush and Fractal and Kemper tones. So definitely subscribe if you're into that kind of stuff. Andrew was saying no wonder they stopped making the old ones. Well, yeah. One, they had part shortages, I'm sure. And then 2, they were planning on bringing out this new one anyway. So why have an old version and a new version? Just get rid of the old version and then bring in the new version. Now, they might come out with a big version and then reintroduce some smaller options maybe in the next year or two. That might be cool. Maybe compete with the Tone X size pedal, or maybe a Tone X size but with a touchscreen. I mean, I don't know, something crazy might, all kinds of craziness might ensue over the next few years. But really, the goal is to uh, really sound the best you can within certain price, whatever price range that you fit in. Some people just can't afford a $2,000 piece of gear. I can barely afford it, but I'm trying to try out all this different stuff so I can just learn more about different units and better understand the units, and hopefully turn around and make videos to teach people here on YouTube how to use their units a little bit more efficiently and sound better. So, man, I'm really liking the camera right here. I'm feeling like this is a good setup. I'm not sure what happened to my brick wall behind me, but uh default scene. Yeah, I lost it somehow. I lost my green screen somehow. All right, Elizabeth. Thanks for hanging out with us. And sometimes Mobby Duty calls. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Andrew says, if I can click on it here. Totally agree. I'm satisfied with the Helix. I mean, how much more do you need? I can do a whole gig with 4 presets. See, there you go. I'm a very simple player. Even with the fractal right here, I've only made like 1 or 2 presets, and it has everything I need in there. It has the tremolo, some drives, some delays, some reverbs. What else do I need? That's pretty much it. So for the price of the Helix, I mean, it's a really good option for sure. I didn't keep my Helix just for the main reason that where is it? I think it's in this other room over here. My blue guitar and HX Effects combination pedal board, that really that does it for me. I mean, I got a good clean 3 different dirt options as far as like tube channels. Then I can just kick it in with whatever effects on the HX Effects, and that sounds really good. That sounds really nice. So in that regard, I didn't feel like I needed to keep the Helix because I had the other HX Effects and amplifier option, which is a real amp. It's a 100-watt amp. So therefore, I can run it into a speaker cab if I want, or I can use the record out and go to front of house or an audio interface if I want to. So it's just a good all around option. But it doesn't give me it doesn't give me an overload of options I just don't need. And then the Kemper, I have the Kemper up on Marketplace right now because I mean, I do like it, but I don't absolutely have to have it. It's just cool to keep around for making videos and just learning more about the unit itself, just in general. And the Fractal FM9, if people say this is the flagship unit of all the units, if you've watched Jonathan Nathan Cordy at all on his channel, he uses Fractal stuff a lot, but he also uses Helix stuff a lot. So I think his kind of sound is very, very similar no matter what he's playing through. Because, just his legato style, and as long as he has some kind of like smooth lead tone going on, he's pretty much going to sound like him, regardless if it's a Fractal or a Helix or Quad Cortex or whatever else he's using. So, yeah, you guys let me know if you have any questions I can address before we shut her down tonight. And otherwise, I got a video to edit for tomorrow. and I have some songs I need to start demoing for an artist that's writing some songs. I'm doing some demo work for him. So I got stuff to do, man. But I do enjoy these little live streams on Tuesday. It's just a nice break in the action. I can kind of sit down and talk. Um, but I really am. I'm really enjoying, really thoroughly enjoying this new setup right here. Let me bring in. Sure why my console is not working. Now the main issue with having this big screen in front of me is I don't have enough space for my secondary screen, but I do have one over here on the desk, so I can always roll it over this way and have it kind of facing over to my side, and that might be a decent option to have like a two screen kind of setup, so I can have console over here, and then maybe have my DAW on this main screen, then maybe have like Ecamm Live on a different screen or whatever else. So Andrew says he built. Yes, I built a couple of presets from John for my Helix. So maybe uh, you paid for some presets, maybe, or maybe you just used his rigs to inspire you to build your own uh, type stuff, which is cool. Which is cool. So yeah, the headrush is gone. I still have the gig board and the MX5, and I like the gig board a lot because it just sits right here on my desk. It just fits really nicely in this little area, and it's just a good size. It's a throw and go kind of size. It's actually a little bit. It's a little bit smaller than the Quad Cortex. Obviously, it doesn't have as many switches on it. But as far as the touchscreen goes and the usability and getting quick sounds for bass and guitar and whatever else I need, the gig board is a great option. The MX5, I feel like the screen is just a little too small. It's kind of hard to push on things sometimes if you're not hitting it just right. And but it does have a built-in expression pedal. So if you're those kind of guys that just want a few switches and being able to access some rigs, then maybe the Headrush MX5 is a good option for you. Steve Junkus says, any recommendations for IRs? So you may like this answer, you may not like this answer, but I actually have a custom IR pack from Sonic DNA. And I will leave I'll be sure to update the description immediately after this live stream. But what's cool about my IR pack is this. It's based on a 2x12 cab with a vintage 30 and a greenback. And we're only using 3 microphones. We have a SM57, a MD421, and then a Royer 121. And as you go through each section of the IRs, we have the A section, B, C, D, and so on. It's actually A, B, A, C, A, D, A, F, A, G, A, H. Then it goes to B, B, A, B, 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 C, B, D, and so on. It just goes through the alphabet. But what that allows you to do is you start with both mics at 100%, then AB would be the right mic down 50%, and then it goes down all the way. So you're left with just the same mic. And then you do the opposite to where you're back at 100%, and then the left mic starts going down by 50%, and then down to 0. So it gives you different blends of SM57, Royer 121, MD421s, and also gives you 2 mics on a greenback, 2 mics on a vintage 30, a mic on a greenback, and a mic on a vintage 30. Just all kinds of combinations there. And I'm pretty sure he's having a sale right now on his website, sonicdna.com or sdna.com. But I'll be sure to have a link in the description after this live stream, so you can click on that and check it out. But I've had Own Hammer in the past. I've had all kinds of different kinds. But for me, I mean, I just think it's very simply laid out and very easy to understand and very easy to find a sound that you like very quickly. So, Doctor McFarland Sonic DNA Custom IR Pack from the Sonic DNA website. And it is a shameless plug, but I do like those IRs a lot. Yes, I have loaded my own IRs into Scuffum gear. Let me click on that real fast. Let me bring that up. It's called S gear. And I also have I have Amplitude, which I've used my IRs with Amplitude as well. Where is S gear? It's literally right in front of my face. I'm just not seeing it. But anyway, it's the Scuffum. Oh, there it is, right there. Sorry. Let's pull this up here and then go to head and DAW, something like that. So you can see right here, I have the Pro Convolver, and I have AB Dock Greenback 57, 100%, and 121 down 50%. So it's a blend between a 57 and a Royer 121. Then on the left cab, so you can have a cab 1 and a cab 2. On the right cab, I have the JK dock, which is a Greenback 421 off axis at 50%, and a vintage 30 with a 421 at 100%. So you can have any combination of these IRs that you want, as long as the loader can do stereo IRs, and it just sounds really good. So you load an IR in a Helix, you need to go into the HX Edit. I may not even have this installed on my computer anymore. Line 6, HX Edit. I don't have anything plugged in right now, so it's not going to work. But over on the left side, there's a category where you can add in IRs, and that's where you do it. You just load them in, and they just populate right there in front of you. And then you can choose whatever IR that you want. So, yeah, Helix. I have my IRs on my HX Effects, which sounds really good. I like the sound of those. I'm gonna load my IRs onto my Fractal over here. You definitely have to use a computer for that. I think it's like the Fractal Bot software, or even the FM9 Edit, like something like this. So here's FM9 Edit, and I can go into Tools. I don't have my thing plugged in right now. User cab list, manage presets, manage cabs, FractalBot. Yeah, FractalBot is where you load in presets that you've either downloaded from the internet, or you can put in your IRs or whatever you have. So yeah, I need to get a cable over here so I can get this plugged in and be showing off some stuff, but not right now. Plug that up a little bit later. But yeah, you can pretty much load whatever you want on any device. You can load IRs, presets, stuff like that. So, All right, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming out this week. I have a shootout between the Rode Pod Mic and the Shure SM57, Shure SM7B, which I sold this morning because I just don't need tons of different mic options. This one sounds really good to me, so I am not worried. I think a lot of gear purchases come from either keeping up with the Joneses or the fear of missing out, FOMO. It's like, oh, thousands of people have this piece of gear, so therefore I should have the piece of gear. So, well, I mean, not really. I mean, you need to experience the gear for yourself and decide if you like it or not. But just because you don't play a certain guitar, or you don't play a certain amp, or you don't have a certain kind of modeler, doesn't mean you're not a legit musician. Okay? I feel like there's a lot of that going on in our guitar community these days. It's very easy to jump on a bandwagon of Kemper, Tonex, Helix, quad cord, whatever it is, right? Gibson Les Pauls. Well, just because Eric Clapton and Slash and Jimmy Page played a Les Paul doesn't mean you have to have a Les Paul. I mean, they're cool guitars. They have a rich history of rock and roll, right? But that doesn't mean you have to have one. You can get by with a Epiphone. You can get by with a Squier Stratocaster or a Telecaster. There's a local player here, which I cannot remember his name. Shoot, it just left me. His name just left me, but he plays regularly a Squier Stratocaster, and he plays the heck out of that thing, and it sounds amazing. So you do not have to spend mad money on gear to have great tone, great sound. A lot of it's going to come down to your fingers and how much you practice, how well you can play your chords, you can play your scales, you can connect with your audience through speaking through your instrument. That's where it's at right there. I don't care what you're playing through. If you play something that is interesting and that speaks to me, that goes a lot farther to me than caring about what kind of guitar you're playing, what you're playing through, whatever else. A great example is Coldplay. The amps they use on stage for the last 20 years has been Fender Hot Rod Deluxes and DeVilles. They're not playing Dumbles. They're not playing Marshall Stacks. They're playing Hot Rod series Fender amps. You can go to a Guitar Center or any local guitar shop and buy it for like $600. Not very expensive at all for a tube amplifier. But they do that because anywhere in the world at any given time, you can go into a guitar store, a guitar shop, and buy a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe or DeVille for $400 to $600. It's like, yeah, we got to play a show tonight. We need a new amp. It's like, all right, yeah, just go get a new one on the floor over there and check out and go play your show. And they're 40 watts. The DeVilles are 40 watts. The Deluxes are 40 watts. So the DeVilles are 60 watts. And my gosh, they'll rip your head off with volume. They're just very, very loud. Very, very loud. So Coldplay, one of the biggest bands in the world, obviously doesn't care about Dumble or boutique pedals. I mean, who cares? Johnny Buckland plays a Rat. He plays a Tube Screamer. He started off with the green DL4 from Line 6 a long time ago. I'm sure he's upgraded his delay options nowadays. Jamie Fuse in the house. Hey, buddy. Fingers are a definite factor for bass tone, for sure. About how you hit the strings and the angle you hit the strings, whether you pluck more toward the neck or toward the bridge. You can get a brighter tone at the bridge or a warmer tone at the neck. Fender Precision, P bass. You can spend $5,000 on a bass, or you can go to a pawn shop and spend $100 or maybe less. And it's really going to come down to your fingers and how you approach the instrument and how you play it. Now, if you play bass through like a little pig nose amp, that's not going to have a lot of bass response. You do need a decent amp, but when I was working at Guitar Center, the Fender Rumble series, plenty loud for all kinds of shows you would ever want to play. And, $150, $200 for a little bass combo amp. You just don't have to spend a lot of money on gear to make things happen. But if you want a custom guitar, then custom is going to come with custom prices. So there's a local guitar builder here in Murfreesboro called Mario Martin. He basically makes Fender style Strats and Tellys, but his guitars are not cheap. But when you're making one-offs or guitars with very specific options, you just have to spend more money for that. Now, if you take a guitar that you can build 1,000 of them a day and just crank them out, you can obviously charge way less for those kind of instruments or amplifiers because they're not custom. You can make them very, very quickly and have a quick turnaround. Ship them out to the store, people buy them. You get that instant flux of income from the sales of all those guitars that you're making. Then you can just turn around and make even more. So, but not so with custom. You have to spend more money to get a custom guitar because it's one person's time. Some custom guitar builders charge like $15,000 for a guitar. And that's fine. If you want to spend that kind of money, you can go right ahead and do that. And obviously, as long as people keep buying them, custom guitar builders are going to keep making them. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, appreciate everybody watching the live stream. I got a new setup going on, which is very exciting. And if you're in the Murfreesboro or Nashville area, you want to come hang out and jam. I don't know why I'm picking lint off of my cymbal washer here. But anyway, it is what it is. Come on by. Let's hang out and jam and talk shop and have some fun with guitars and drums and pianos and whatever else I got around here. So thanks guys for watching. I am Dr. McFarland, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking. Da 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 da, ba da 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 ba, ba da 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 ba. Superhero, la 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 la. Something just like this. Something just like this. Do 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 do. Something just like this, baby. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Something just like this. Do 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 do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something just like this. Do 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 do. Ba da da ba 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 da da da. Ba da da ba 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 ba. boo boo. Bird boo 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 boo. You don't wanna go, so la 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 la. Superhero, something and a miss. Something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. Something just like this. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.